Mr. Speaker, without going into details about the operational activities, I answer that the operational activities has taken into consideration how to protect our citizens who trade along. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Defense is committed to maintaining the highest standards of professionalism within the Ghana Armed Forces, enhancing the capacity to protect the nation's territorial integrity and supporting sustainable democratic governance. In maintaining professionalism and enhancing capacity, the Ministry continuously undertakes the following key strategic activities: professional development and training. Training policies and procedures are under constant review for optimal results. The Department of Training coordinates tactical, operational, trade, specialized and physical training to enhance effectiveness and capacity across all Ghana Armed Forces commands. The training involves local training, higher educational initiative, and overseas training. Training emphasizes military ethics, discipline, human rights, and civil-military relations to equip personnel for effective socio-economic contribution and national defense. Mr. Speaker, on recruitment and retention reforms, the Ministry ensures a transparent, merit-based recruitment process to attract the best candidates nationwide. Retention strategies focus on improved welfare, housing, healthcare, and career progression to maintain a capable force. Mr. Speaker, on capacity building and modernization, investment in advanced surveillance systems, maritime security assets, air assets, patrol technologies, and infrastructure improvements are being pursued to add value to personnel. The Ghana Armed Forces supports democratic institutions as mandated by the Constitution, respecting civil authority and constitutional governance. Mr. Speaker, where there are any reported unauthorized operation or indiscipline on the part of personnel, the Ghana Armed Forces ensures disciplinary systems are enforced timelessly in accordance with law to maintain discipline and professionalism in the service. The training architecture of the Ghana Armed Forces is aimed at deterring terrorism and violent extremism, thereby maintaining the stability necessary for democratic governance. Mr. Speaker, it is worthy of mention that the participation of the Ghana Armed Forces in United Nations mission has bolstered Ghana Armed Forces image in terms of professionalism, best practices, and respect for human rights. This has reinforced democratic principles within the rank and file of the personnel of the Ghana Armed Forces. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Defense prioritizes professionalism, continuous training, modernization, interagency collaboration, and strict adherence to constitutional and ethical standards in managing the Ghana Armed Forces. These measures ensure a disciplined, capable force committed to Ghana's sovereignty, democratic stability, and socio-economic advancement. The Ghana Armed Forces published the qualifications and criteria for recruitment, and that is done in national communication platforms, and this is open and transparent enough for anybody that wants to join the Ghana Armed Forces. In terms of promotions, there are laid down procedures which are in accordance. Mr. Speaker, the Alavanyo-Nkonya conflict, rooted in a protracted land boundary dispute dating back to 1923, has led to decades of violence, killings, and reprisals between the two communities. The contested land, a plateau between Nkonya and Alavanyo Pemi, remains unresolved, with both sides maintaining interest in the land. Mr. Speaker, the conflict has deeply impacted both communities, damaging infrastructure, disrupting transport and education, stifling economic and social life through curfews, and altering traveling routes due to ongoing insecurity. However, Mr. Speaker, I'm glad to report that presently both sides of the community have committed to cede the contested land to the Ghana Armed Forces for a military training purpose. The location of the land aligns with the Ghana Armed Forces' ongoing national expansion and reorganization program aimed at strengthening internal security and addressing threats such as terrorism and other cross-border crimes. To further exert dominance in the area and put the disputed land into productive use, the Ghana Armed Forces have proposed the establishment of a Special Forces Jungle Training School and Forward Operating Base. The training school will therefore be established as part of the medium-term plan of the ministry. Mr. Speaker, the Falcon 900 executive aircraft was ferried to Dassault Falcon services in Le Bourget, France, on Tuesday, 11th March 2025, for the 24 monthly and 1,600 flying hours periodic inspection. This inspection is a mandatory airworthiness requirement that ensures that the main maintenance tasks and due list tasks compiled for the 24 monthly inspections have been completed and functional checks have successfully carried out. Mr. Speaker, also the reported corrosion spots detected within the aircraft fuel tanks, which affected the aircraft's delivery date, have undergone extensive repairs. These corrosion issues in the fuel tanks have since been resolved. However, in the course of the inspection, fuel leakages were observed from the right-hand wing tank. Unfortunately, after successfully repairing the section of the wing that experienced the leakages, other challenge was encountered while reinstalling the lower panel beneath the wing. This occurrence has resulted in further delay in the completion of the inspection. Mr. Speaker, following the difficulties encountered, Dassault Aviation invited the Falcon Wing original equipment manufacturer to the Dassault Falcon Services hangars to enable the OEM conduct an on-site assessment of the right-hand wing lower panel and provide independent technical recommendations aimed at expediting the repair and reinstallation process. The repair from the OEM has been successfully carried out, and the right-hand wing repair has also been completed. Mr. Speaker, upon the completion of this rectification, the aircraft has to undergo a leak test of the fuel tanks, a third engine ground run, painting of the wing lower panel, and finally an acceptance flight will be performed. Right Honorable Speaker, the Falcon 900 executive aircraft will return to Ghana after all the necessary tests. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the recent situation in Togo, if escalated, poses potential security, social and economic risk to Ghana, including refugee inflows, cross-border crimes, and other destabilizing effects. The Ministry of Defense, working closely with other security and intelligence agencies, has therefore adopted a comprehensive contingency framework to preempt and respond to any adverse effects of these risks. This framework, I must emphasize, is preventive, proactive, and multidimensional in nature, and seeks to uphold the peace and security of our dear nation. Mr. Speaker, in furtherance to this objective, the Ghana Armed Forces, in collaboration with other security and intelligence agencies, has taken the following measures. Securing the eastern frontier. In addition to existing security arrangements along the Ghana-Togo border, joint patrols have been intensified, particularly along porous and unapproved routes, to deter infiltration, prevent territorial encroachment, and assure the Ghanaian public of their safety. On humanitarian preparedness and civil-military cooperation, the Ministry intends to pre-position humanitarian logistics at designated reception centers such as Aflao, Denu, Petoi, to manage potential refugee inflows. Additionally, the Ghana Armed Forces coordination teams will work with NADMO and the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, as well as other partners, to ensure that displaced persons are registered, screened, and cared for in accordance with humanitarian standards. This process, besides providing care and assistance, would further help to identify, prevent, and arrest potential troublemakers. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry has issued firm but measured instructions to our troops to exercise maximum restraint and engage only in the event of a direct and imminent threat. Public assurance and information operations. The Ghana Armed Forces has initiated strategic communication activities aimed at sensitizing communities along the Eastern Corridor for the purpose and scope of our deployment, thus enhancing civil-military trust and deterring misinformation. To ensure effectiveness of our communication activities, the communication and information operations have considered using local languages to deepen our operations. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Defense, through the Ghana Armed Forces, is fully committed to maintaining peace and stability within our borders in line with its mission. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the operations along the border is a joint operation. That is the Ghana Armed Forces together with other security agencies. And so adequate deployment measures have been taken in order to ensure that when the situation escalates, we will be able to deal with it. Safety of our men are always considered when we do deployment.
This afternoon, this side spent several minutes arguing that once you have admitted a question, nobody can question it. They say that once the speaker has admitted a question, nobody can challenge. So whatever the wording of the question is, the minister is answering the question.
Please subscribe to Morris TVGA.